Long after the echoes of Celestial Emperor Grand Creation's birth faded into legend, a new tremor stirs in the primordial mine. The shattered eggs of ancient gods lie like silent witnesses, and yet the air vibrates with a weight no mortal can name. Qin Mu, trembling yet resolute, threads deeper into the labyrinth of chaos qi, each step a dance on the edge of annihilation. Behind him, Yan and the dragon qilin cling to human forms, hearts pounding in the suffocating silence, while tiny earth count shivers between them. Here, in the heart of the mine, the past of creation itself converges with the present, and the very stones whisper of a power that dwarfs even Celestial Emperor. In recap Tales of Herding Gods, chapter 1151-1155, the line between life and obliteration narrows. What awaits at the sacrificial altar may unravel more than just a god's destiny. Imagine standing at the edge of a world that has never truly been touched by time, where the echoes of creation itself still hum in the air, and every step could awaken a power older than the stars. This is the realm Qin Mu dared to enter, a primordial mine where chaos and divinity intertwine, and even the bravest cultivators would hesitate. At first glance, the mine seemed deceptively empty. Its divine stones lay silent, and the legendary eggs of ancient gods had long since hatched, leaving behind only fragments of their former shells. To the casual observer, there was nothing to gain. But Qin Mu, ever curious and bold, sensed that this place still held secrets beyond imagination. The lingering chaos qi was more than a resource. It was a pulse of the universe, unstable and unpredictable, yet brimming with latent potential. Now here's where the tension truly begins. The mine was no ordinary place. Its original occupant, the ancient god Celestial Emperor Grand Creation, had been born prematurely, ripped from the womb of the Grand Creation mine by the sacrifices of mortal hands. Even incomplete, the Celestial Emperor's power eclipsed nearly all, a testament to the staggering might of a being forged from creation itself. Qin Mu understood this well. If an ancient god had emerged here naturally, uncut and untouched, their strength could rival or even surpass that of Celestial Emperor. The stakes weren't just life or death. They were cosmic. As he ventured deeper, every companion of Qin Mu, Yan, the dragon qilin, and the timid tiny earth count, felt the mine's oppressive weight. Transforming into human forms, they huddled together, trembling before the unseen danger. Qin Mu's awareness had to stretch in all directions. One misstep could shatter a divine stone or bring down a collapsing wall. Chaos qi seeped from the walls in palpable waves, reminding them that the mine was a living entity, sensitive to every sound, every movement. Even with the glassy sky pagoda, the pinnacle of protective treasures, pushing back the chaotic forces, the environment demanded utmost caution. A minor slip could prove fatal. When a small stone fell upon the dragon qilin's foot, the weight was almost unbearable, a reminder that in a place like this, even the tiniest threat could become a killing blow. Yet in moments like these, Qin Mu's leadership shone. He provided guidance, protection, and a way forward, revealing his understanding of the delicate balance between brute strength and subtle strategy. This wasn't just exploration, it was a masterclass in survival amidst forces older than the heavens. The mine's depths revealed more than danger. They told a story of devotion and sacrifice. Scattered skeletons of the masters of creation, slaves in life, yet formidable cultivators, lined the path, victims of the mine's chaotic pulse. At its deepest point, the chaos qi coalesced into a tangible, suffocating sea. Even the glassy sky pagoda struggled to hold back its immense pressure, emphasizing that the true trial of a cultivator isn't just fighting others, it's enduring the raw, unshaped forces of creation itself. Finally, at the heart of this underground world, the legendary sacrificial altar awaited. Its presence was chilling. Around it lay the remains of those who had tried to uncover its secrets, a grim testament to the ancient power contained within. Two halves of a shattered ancient god egg rested at the center, proof that life had emerged here long before Qin Mu arrived. This altar mirrored the ancestral land of the Celestial Emperor, yet it was untouched by the refinement of Tao. The chaos surrounding it had no form, no order, pure, untamed, primordial. Here lies the heart of what makes this chapter extraordinary. It juxtaposes creation against chaos, mortal ambition against ancient inevitability. Qin Mu's journey is not just one of courage, but of insight. He navigates not merely with strength, but with understanding, recognizing the mind as both tomb and crucible. His companions' fear and loyalty highlight the human element in a story otherwise dominated by godlike forces. And the very presence of the glassy sky pagoda underscores the subtle interplay between technique, treasure, and willpower in Xianxia worlds. As we leave this chapter, the questions linger. What truly lies beyond the cracked shell of that ancient god egg? Could a being born here, untouched by human interference, surpass even celestial emperor grand creation? And perhaps most compellingly, how far will Qin Mu dare to push, knowing that each step deeper into chaos might bring him face to face with power that dwarfs all he has seen? In a world where creation itself is a battlefield, his choices may shape the future of gods themselves. Imagine uncovering a relic so immense, so potent, that its very presence seems to hum with the echoes of gods long vanished. Qin Mu stands before such a discovery, an ancient god's egg, split open, its hollow interior hiding secrets older than mortal memory. What he finds beneath the cracked shell is a circular pit, a design so familiar it immediately triggers his recollection of sacrificial altars from the Bloodrust Zone, where the masters of creation once gathered offerings to forge beings of incomprehensible power. Could it be that these altars, these carefully constructed circles of sacrifice, were inspired by the very architecture of ancient divine life? It's a question that hangs in the air, one that blends history, strategy, and the boundless ambition of mortals trying to emulate gods. As a storyteller, I have to pause here. This is more than an artifact. It is a blueprint for divine ascension. Qin Mu realizes that the egg itself, left abandoned, contains knowledge that even its progenitor may not have comprehended. The moment it hatched, it fled, ignorant of the latent treasure it carried. To Qin Mu, it is both a challenge and an opportunity, an ancient god's flaw, a crack through which mortal ingenuity can grasp a fraction of divine power. He drags the eggshell into the heart of his own Qin wordland, an audacious move, mindful of his limitations. Unlike previous ancient god eggs he has refined, one by the celestial emperor, another by the black tortoise and deity, this shell is stubborn, unyielding, demanding patience and cleverness. Yet within it lies the key to understanding the great Tao of ancient gods, a step toward mastering powers that can bend heaven and earth. But in true wuxia fashion, no moment of triumph is without peril. As soon as the eggshells are placed, the earth quakes violently. Qin Mu's instincts kick in. Yanair and the dragon Qilin are whisked into the protective glassy sky pagoda, a vessel brimming with treasures crude in refinement but astonishing in latent might. Here, the narrative tension peaks. The very ground of the primordial mine rains down chaos stones, immense and suffused with boundless qi, threatening to crush everything. This is where Qin Mu's brilliance, as both cultivator and strategist, shines. He executes the Overlord Body 3 elixir technique, channeling every ounce of vital qi and divine consciousness into his corporeal form. But this is no ordinary cultivation display. It is a symphony of cosmic power. Heaven Duke hovers above, Mother Earth anchors his soul. Earth Count resides in his dantian, and the Celestial Emperor's presence occupies the heart of his brows. The twin lotus of the ruins of End, the star gods, the 5 celestial bodies, the 36 heavenly deities, and 72 earthly demons all converge through him. Each aperture, each pulse of light becomes a vessel of martial and cosmic law. Let me break this down for the audience. Qin Mu's mastery here is not simply brute force. He is restructuring reality, weaving together celestial architecture with human ingenuity. Every chaos stone is not just avoided, it is redirected, manipulated, and ultimately neutralized by his reconstructed heavens. The battle is as much metaphysical as it is physical, a dance of creation and destruction, of order against chaos. Yet the cost is visible and brutal. His body strains under the weight of his ambition, veins popping, skin fracturing under the pressure of his vital qi runes, each a map of Tao and destiny. And still, even in agony, he commands the glassy sky pagoda with precision, turning catastrophe into a path forward. Rocks that should have buried him are flung aside. The mine's collapse transforms into a corridor of escape. In analyzing this sequence, we see several layers at work. Qin Mu is demonstrating a profound principle of Xianxia philosophy. The body is a vessel for the Tao, but mastery requires synthesis. combining martial techniques, divine arts, cosmic awareness, and tactical acumen. The story here is not merely about survival. It is about transmutation of power, the forging of a mortal into an entity that can contend with ancient gods. And here's my take. This chapter isn't just a test of strength. It's a foreshadowing of Qin Mu's future trajectory. By deciphering the great Tao of the ancient gods and surviving the primordial mine, he positions himself on the threshold of becoming an entity whose influence rivals the celestial emperors. Every choice, every exertion, signals a shift in the balance of power, and the narrative is teasing the audience with what comes next. A deeper exploration of godly mechanics, and perhaps a confrontation with the very creator of the strange, void-forged beasts that haunt this universe. So as the dust settles and the path clears, we are left with a single, exhilarating thought. Qin Mu is no longer merely a cultivator of mortals. He is an architect of cosmic order, a wielder of ancient power, and a figure whose next steps will ripple through the heavens themselves. The question now is, what will he uncover next? And which part of this ancient, divine puzzle will finally bend to his will? Imagine stepping into a place so ancient, so potent, that even the mightiest celestial venerables approach it with caution. Today we witness divine King Zu, scion of the Heaven Duke, standing before a primordial mine, its chaos stones thrumming with energy older than memory itself. The sky itself seems to bend under the brilliance radiating from his body, 49 rays of divine light bridging heaven and earth like a celestial peacock's tail. This is no ordinary battlefield. This is the intersection of legacy, bloodline, and the raw, untamed forces of creation. Divine King Zu's heart recognized the magnitude of the chaos chi overflowing from the mine. Any mortal or even exalted cultivator would tremble before such concentrated primordial energy. Here, treasures were not mere artifacts. They were legacies, weapons that could challenge gods, and perhaps even tools to surpass his father. He imagined forging the chaos stones into whips capable of cutting through divine defenses, a temptation too irresistible to ignore, but before he could claim his prize, the mine itself rebelled. The ground shook violently. The chaos mountains, ancient and imposing, began to crumble, not in mere collapse, but in an eruption of disintegration. Divine King Zu, for all his divine heritage, felt a flicker of apprehension. The chaos stones tore themselves apart, unleashing a storm of chi that ripped through the surrounding terrain. Mountains sank, divine gold shrank into dust, and even the fearsome void beasts were pulverized by the unleashed energy. Here we see a vivid lesson in Xianxia power scaling. Raw chaos chi is not a mere tool. It is a force of nature, indifferent to rank, history, or ambition. As the dust cleared, a voice emerged from the devastation, oddly lighthearted amidst the carnage. It was Qin Mu, leading his companions out of the collapsed ruins with a calm that belied the storm behind them. And here lies the genius of his cultivation and strategy. He wields not just power, but precision, timing, and an understanding of the natural limits of even a celestial venerable's might. Divine King Zu, a master of divine arts and heir to a bloodline capable of shaping the cosmos, now faced the consequences of misjudging someone who moves in harmony with chaos rather than against it. The confrontation that followed is as much a dance of intellect as of martial might. Zu's demands, his bloodline authority, his threats of violence, they are expected of someone of his station, yet they reveal a rigidity that Qin Mu exploits effortlessly. By simply controlling the environment, anticipating reactions, and asserting presence at critical moments, Qin Mu turns the chaos of the mine into a shield and a stage. He doesn't just survive, he dominates the narrative of the encounter, and the philosophical undertones cannot be ignored. Qin Mu speaks of an ancient god, already born within the mine, whose energy has been drained long ago, a reminder that even legends are subject to time, circumstance, and interference. Divine King Zu's fixation on treasures and artifacts versus Qin Mu's focus on awareness, timing, and Tao friendships illustrates a recurring theme in Xianxia tales. Power is transient, wisdom endures. The real treasures are insight, timing, and understanding the hidden currents of cultivation and fate. Finally, the glassy sky pagoda, the #1 treasure of 600,000 years, flashes in Divine King Zu's mind. It is here that we witness a subtle interplay of admiration, envy, and restraint. Qin Mu has the upper hand, yet allows the tension to resolve peacefully, using intellect and presence rather than brute force. Zhu leaves, transformed not by death or injury, but by the undeniable reality that some forces are beyond even divine lineage to control. What this chapter teaches us, beyond spectacle, is the art of subtlety in Xianxia conflicts. Chaos is not merely fought. It is understood. Strength is not merely displayed. It is orchestrated. And perhaps most importantly, even a celestial venerable must bow to the clever hand that guides calamity, rather than the one that merely wields it. So the question lingers. If power alone cannot command chaos, then who truly governs the fate of worlds hidden within ancient minds? And when Qin Mu steps further into the ancestral court, what other forces will tremble at the whisper of his strategy? Imagine stumbling upon a treasure so profound that it could shift the balance of power among the most exalted beings of the heavens. This is where our tale begins. Qin Mu, once a mere mortal with extraordinary ambition, now stands in possession of the fabled glassy sky pagoda, a relic whispered about in hushed tones across the celestial realms. But the story here is far more than just a treasure heist. It's a high-stakes dance of strategy, ambition, and the raw hunger for power. Qin Mu's triumph is immediate, but precarious. 8 celestial venerables have now become aware of his possession, and in a world where awareness is as dangerous as a direct assault, the simple act of holding the pagoda has painted a target on his back. The glassy sky pagoda itself, crude in construction, yet devastatingly powerful, harbors within it the ancient god egg, a seed of unimaginable potential. This isn't just a treasure to admire, it's a weapon, a strategic advantage, a fulcrum upon which the scales of heaven might tip. Here, the genius of Qin Mu's move becomes clear. By revealing the treasure openly, he forces the hand of his rivals. He is no longer merely hiding. He is baiting the strongest celestial venerables to test their limits against one another. It's a masterstroke in psychological warfare. The pagoda doesn't need him to cultivate, it needs his command, his boldness, his audacity. And in that audacity lies both danger and opportunity. We see the reactions unfold across the celestial stage. Celestial Venerable Hao constructs a gilded palace of divine gold and stone, a fortress as much for defense as for demonstration. God Sovereign Langshuan, ever the tactician, uses the primordial liquid to empower his formations, turning the very essence of ancestral court into his arsenal. And then there's Heavenly Lady Qiang, who understands the true nature of the god egg. Not just a tool for wishes, but a living entity that grows stronger by absorbing the ambitions of its users. Her insight underscores a critical theme. In this world, even the most tempting prize is as dangerous as it is alluring. But what does this reveal about our protagonist? Qin Mu is not merely brave, he is calculating. He knows the limits of his rivals, the vulnerabilities of their ambition, and the latent power within the pagoda. He rides atop a void beast, moving through the chaos with an almost nonchalant confidence. Yet every step is a calculated risk. This is the mark of a cultivator who understands that true strength is as much about perception and leverage as it is about raw power. The chapter also sheds light on the cosmic hierarchy and the subtleties of cultivation. Each venerable maneuvers within their treasure lands, drawing energy from jade pools, celestial rivers, and primordial mines. Every action is a blend of strategy, cultivation mechanics, and battlefield psychology. To the uninitiated, it might seem like hoarding or selfishness, but in reality it's a sophisticated game of heavenly chess, where every move can determine the survival of entire divine lineages. Yet there's tension beneath the surface. Celestial Venerable Xiao, who once suppressed a grand beginning, understands the existential threat posed by another ancient god emerging from the pagoda. Power-hungry minds everywhere react predictably, desire intertwined with fear. And in this crucible of celestial ambition, Qin Mu's audacity forces reflection. Who can truly claim dominion when even the heavens themselves are watching and weighing consequences? As we close this chapter of celestial intrigue, consider the delicate balance Qin Mu now navigates. The glassy sky pagoda is both a shield and a lure, and its ancient god egg may yet tip the scales toward chaos or revelation. In this high-stakes world, every action echoes across realms, and every choice can reshape the Tao itself. So we are left with a question that hangs over the heavens like a sword of divine intent. Which of the celestial venerables will rise to confront Qin Mu, and will their ambition become their undoing? Or will they become instruments in his audacious plan? Only the next chapter will tell. But one thing is certain, the stage is set. The players are in motion, and the pagoda has begun to weave its destiny. Imagine a treasure so immense, so woven with the power of the heavens themselves, that even the most audacious cultivators would hesitate to claim it. Our tale today plunges into one of these legendary prize grounds, where Qin Mu navigates the dangerous and intricate politics of ancestral court and uncovers secrets that could shift the balance of power across the celestial realms. Qin Mu arrives at a mine rumored to be claimed by none other than Heavenly Lady Yan, an enigmatic figure whose status as Celestial Empress or Mistress Yuanmu is itself a matter of speculation. The moment he steps into her domain, she greets him with a knowing smile, cradling a white spirit cat, Little Seven, whose loyalty and judgment are as sharp as any warrior's blade. This is no ordinary cat. It discerns the moral essence of those who approach, a subtle yet potent guardian in a world where intent and power are inseparable. Their interaction is layered with unspoken truths. Qin Mu shows off the glassy sky pagoda, a treasure of unmatched majesty, and Heavenly Lady Yan teases him about the dangers, not of void beasts, but of the other celestial venerables who dare not break ancestral court seals. Here, we witness the interplay of authority, knowledge, and subtle intimidation. The scene reveals something crucial about cultivation politics. Even with godlike power, the right social understanding and caution are as vital as martial prowess. Then comes the revelation of the treasure's origin. Forged by North deity Black Tortoise from a plundered vault of Grand Emperor Ju Yushi, the Glassy Sky Pagoda is an artifact of unimaginable versatility. It can manipulate reality itself, altering materials, transforming forms, and even elevating a clan to rival the might of a celestial emperor. Yet within this egg of creation lies another celestial emperor, a stark reminder that some powers are too dangerous for even the boldest cultivators to tamper with. The lesson here is both narrative and philosophical. True power carries risk, and curiosity alone can invite disaster. After parting from Heavenly Lady Yan, Qin Mu ventures onward, arriving at a new treasure ground, the palace of God Sovereign Langshuan, framed by a natural taiji diagram of black and white mountains, rivers glowing with Tao markings, and multicolored light streaming skyward. This is a visual metaphor for balance and duality, a reminder that the cosmos is not chaos, but a dance of opposing forces. God Sovereign Langshuan, like a celestial sentinel, wields a colossal bell that instantly obliterates nearby void beasts, a display of raw authority and strategic foresight. Their conversation is tense, yet revealing. Here we see Qin Mu navigating diplomacy, respect, and calculated risk. The 5 primordial mines of ancestral court are off limits, yet Langshuan offers guidance. The origin sites of legendary realms, the burial of the first master of creation, and other supreme treasures. For a cultivator like Qin Mu, these are not just riches. They are keys to understanding the cosmos, refining techniques, and advancing cultivation. It's a masterclass in how knowledge and observation can rival brute strength in the pursuit of ascension. As Qin Mu rides the void beast further, the narrative shifts into a meditation on perseverance and exploration. Exhaustion sets in, darkness and black sand stretch infinitely, yet he presses on. This is emblematic of the Xianxia journey itself. Progress demands endurance, and the unknown often tests both body and spirit. The void beast, though mighty, struggles against the relentless terrain, highlighting that even great power has limits when facing the raw forces of creation. The chapter closes with a tantalizing question. Could there be a 6th mine, a hidden treasure surpassing even the legendary 5? Qin Mu's curiosity is piqued, and the audience is left with the sense that Ancestral Court is a labyrinth of secrets, each discovery revealing deeper mysteries, each step potentially altering the celestial hierarchy. In essence, this chapter isn't just about treasure hunting. It's about the subtleties of power, the interplay between morality and might, and the careful balance required to navigate a world where gods, emperors, and cultivators tread a fine line between ambition and annihilation. Qin Mu's journey here is both literal and symbolic. He chases treasures, but also understanding, insight, and the fragile thread of survival in a realm where even the heavens watch and judge. What he uncovers, and what we see through his eyes reminds us that in the Xianxia cosmos, wisdom and courage are as priceless as gold, if not more.